In 1983, Duck Swann did what no other American had ever done. On the storied Walton Heath course in England, the former Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket golfing great won the British Senior Open Amateur Championship by 2 strokes. He not only brought home the trophy, he left a lasting impression on both sides of the Atlantic.
It tickled me to read in the paper about him the next morning. Well, he didn't win them all, but he won more than his share, so I was proud of him for staying with it the way he did.
Ken McPherson, the golf pro at Walton Heath, became acquainted with Duck during the tournament, and he said, "That short time was sufficient for me to become aware that Duck was a bit special." Throughout his life, Macon native Albert J. Duck Swann exhibited special qualities on and off the course. He was a standout golfer at Lanier High School in Macon, winning numerous titles before moving on to Georgia Tech with similar achievements. He also served his country, first as a B-17 pilot during World War II, then as a pilot during the Korean War, before retiring from the Air Force Reserve as a lieutenant colonel. In the business world, he was president of the Dixie Metal Company and the Macon Janitor Service, plus he held several board positions and was president of the Idle Hour Club. Most importantly, he was husband to his wife Martha and father to his sons Albert and Brad and daughter Kate. Now, with a nickname like Duck, you wouldn't think another nickname was necessary, but
I never knew Mr. Swann as Mr. Swann. I've always known him as Breeze, and he just breezes right along.
A number of years later, when Persons was on the PGA Tour, he had an opportunity to play in a tournament and he needed a partner. He picked Duck Swann.
I remember getting there and the guys asking me, "Who you bringing? Who you bringing?" I'm bringing a guy from my home club. "Well, is he a pretty good player?" "Yes." "Well, how old is he?" And I said, "He's 66. And we're playing for some pretty good money in this tournament." And they're going, "Wait a minute. You're bringing a 66-year-old man to play in this tournament? We're playing for some good money here." And so we played, and we played very good, and Breeze played very good. And when I mean real good, and he helped out tremendously.
Duck played many rounds with good friends, and they enjoyed his quick wit. One time Thatcher Watson wasn't playing very well, so he borrowed a club from Duck. Actually, he borrowed several clubs over the years, and Duck always enjoyed seeing old friends.
This came up for one reason. He said, "You know, sir, one of the reasons I like to play golf with you is because I can get back to old friends." And I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "That's my driver, that's my putter, and that's my pitching wedge. And I don't ever see them. They're old friends, but I don't ever see them unless I'm playing with you." So I said, "Well, I'm not going to give them back to you." Oh, shoot.
That was Duck Swann, always helping others, especially kids. That's how Roger Kaiser met him. Kaiser, a former Georgia Tech basketball standout, was running a sports camp, and Duck brought his sons and some other kids to the camp. According to Kaiser, Duck had a good way of making sure his sons kept up with their duties.
When he would send a note to his, whether it was Albert or Brad at camp, you know, the whole camp wanted to read it because, you know, I'm sure that one of them would call home or ride home that need money. And he'd say, "Well, you been brushing your teeth?" He said, "Yes, I have." You know where the money was? Under the toothpaste. The money was under the toothpaste.
When it came to golf, Duck always followed the rules, and he understood the game. In fact, his golf knowledge was so well respected that Golf Digest asked him to rate golf courses. Sometimes he would ask friends to tag along, and after playing, they would partake in a Duck Swann tradition.
He'd find the local Dairy Queen, and we'd get ice cream and get on home. And we went to some towns that you never heard of down in South Georgia.
He loved his ice cream. And unfortunately, he's given me that trait.
Ice cream. He'd say, "Roger, I'm going to go buy you some ice cream because you drove me home." But it wasn't the fact, he just wanted to spend some time with it.
Duck Swann touched many lives in a positive manner, and he is missed. not only for his contributions, but more importantly, the companionship he provided to so many.
Just absolute wonderful, wonderful person. One of the most likable guys anywhere that you come across.
He attracted good people, and then he made people better too.
I hadn't thought about it from this perspective, but I think I would have trusted him with most anything. He, I miss him.